Hello, everyone. I hope that you had a nice weekend and are ready to dive back into Most Dangerous Game. So, before we get started, just a couple of things. Obviously, you're watching this video right now, but please make sure that every day you watch the video and watch the entire thing. I go over a lot of really important information, and you can always pause and come back to it, but make sure that you are watching the videos. In addition, make sure that if there are specific instructions posted with any of the assignments, that you are taking the time to watch those videos. There are some of you who are missing points on things simply because you aren't following the instructions that were given in the videos. The first thing we're going to do today is work in Quill. Now, I know that the last couple of weeks we talked about how when we see you on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we will do word parts, and when we see you on Tuesday and Thursday, we will work in Quill. That was just getting very overwhelming for the three of us English 1 teachers as far as keeping everything straight, especially between having virtual and in-person students. So we decided to make just a tiny little change, and it really shouldn't affect you all that much, but basically it will just be week by week now. So for example, this week everyone will work in Quill, regardless of what day they are in class. And next week, everyone will work on word parts, and then we'll switch back to Quill, and then back to word parts. So it shouldn't really affect you all that much, other than the fact that today's a Wednesday and we won't be doing word parts. We will be working in Quill. So since we haven't done Quill before, other than taking the diagnostic, I want to take you through how you will complete your assignment today. So if you click on the link right here, it's going to break down the instructions for you. Everyone has been assigned different activities based on their diagnostic test. So whatever the results of your test were, you've been assigned to things that you could work on. So go ahead and click on quill.org and sign into your account. You should be signed in through your school Gmail. If for some reason you aren't, then if you can't get in, you can let me know and I should be able to look up your username for you. When you click on our course, you will see a list of activities to do. Here's a screenshot of that, but I will actually show you. I have a test student created, and I know this says pre-AP English 1, but the same thing will apply for you in English 1. So it will show the starter diagnostic as being completed, and it does say unscored, and that's just because it is a diagnostic. If for some reason you haven't finished that diagnostic, please make sure that you do that first, and that will count as your activity for today. Now, if you scroll through, you'll see all of the different types of practice that are assigned to you. So capitalization, plural and possessive nouns, pronouns, etc., all the way down. Some of you will have more things assigned, some of you will have fewer things assigned. But basically, you can pick any of the activities that you would like to do. So let's say that I want to work with irregular plural nouns. I'm just going to click on Start, and it will pull up the instructions. So I'm going to follow the instructions, use the example as a guide, and I'm going to get started. Now it will give you some instructions up here about what the rules are for whatever skill you're working on. So I'm going to read through this and then I will get to my question. Let's grow some, and I'm going to, looking at my rule up here, when a word ends with an O, we add ES to make it plural. So I'm going to say tomatoes in our garden and enter. And it will tell you if you are correct or not. Each one of these activities is maybe 6 to 10 questions long. So your goal for each day that we work in Quill is to complete one of these sections. So it will, once you have finished an activity, it will show up as being completed. Okay, so you need to have one activity completed every time that we work in Quill. So for today, you should have at least one activity that is completed. It's okay if it's not yet proficient, or if it is proficient, whatever level you're at is fine. If we consistently see that you're always getting not proficient, then we might want to talk about why that is. But these are skills that you're working on, so we don't expect that you're going to be perfect at them every time. As far as what I see on the teacher side, I will see what lessons you have completed and the day that you completed them on. So you don't actually have to submit anything to this assignment. This is going to be where you will get your grade for the week for working in Quill. So you will need to complete one activity today and then at least one activity on Friday. So this is really more of like a bell ringer warm-up type of exercise. It really shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes or so, and you don't have to do any more than just the one activity per day. So that is what we are doing for Quill. When you have finished that, if you want to go back to the announcement for today, and you're going to click on our journal. Now, a journal is something that we do almost every day, and we're just kind of getting it started now that we've been in school a couple of weeks and you're starting to kind of get the flow of everything. We can kind of add this piece in. So each day that we have a journal, you will have a prompt. Typically, the prompts are going to be something that there isn't really necessarily one correct answer for. It's more a question that is your opinion or based on your personal experiences, but we do try to relate the questions back to what we are working on in class. So for today, your journal prompt is, do you think hunting is ethical? Why or why not? So ethical basically just means, is it moral? Is it acceptable? Is it justified? Is it okay? Do you think it's okay that people go hunting? Why or why not? So it's totally your opinion. I don't care which way you swing on that. And I don't care if, if you want to kind of split the difference and say, yes, it's okay in this circumstance. No, it's not okay in this circumstance. All that I care about is that you are giving your position and you're explaining why or why not. You also need to make sure that you're writing at least 3 complete sentences to receive credit. So if you don't write 3 sentences, you will get a 0, and I will send it back to you and say, please write 3 sentences. Or if you don't have proper capitalization, I will give you a 0 and send it back to you and say, please use proper capitalization. You don't want to have to do that. It's a waste of your time and a waste of my time. So please just do it correctly the first time. That means that you have 3 complete sentences. Each sentence starts with a capital letter. Every time you use the word I, it is capitalized, and all of your sentences end with a period, or occasionally a question mark or an exclamation point if it is warranted. Okay. Please make sure that you're checking your feedback on these journals. Okay. What I have happen a lot of times is students think that they just turned it in and it's done. But what I have happen a lot is people make those mistakes like I just mentioned, and then they don't get credit, and then they are wondering why, and they have all these journals to make up. Let me show you what I mean by feedback. So if you go into your grades, this is kind of a sidebar, but if you go into your grades and you want to know why you got a certain grade on something, and if there is a little speech bubble, you can just click on that and it will pop out my feedback that I've left. So make sure that you're getting in the habit of checking this feedback, because a lot of times it might be something like, I can't view this, I need you to resubmit it. So something that maybe you thought that you turned in, but I can't view for some reason, or like in the journal example, you've done it incorrectly and I need you to fix it. So make sure that you get in the habit of checking those. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is go back to your announcement. And we are going to review your vocab for this story. I'm sorry that my computer is going a little bit slowly. Okay, so you're going to review vocab from The Most Dangerous Game. If you click on this link, it will take you to vocab.com, and it will take you to the vocab list. So you have all the words here that you can review. If for some reason, sometimes it has you sign up for an account and then it will default you back to just a normal vocabulary list, not the one that you were already looking at. So if for some reason, after you sign up using your Gmail account, if for some reason you aren't practicing these words, make sure that you go back to the announcement and click back through the link again just to get onto the correct list, because there's no point in practicing words that are not going to be on our quiz. So what you will want to do is look through the words, remind yourself of what they mean, and then you can click up here on resume practice, or it will just say start practice for you. And it will pull up some little multiple choice questions that you can go through. So down here at the bottom, you can see that it shows you how you're progressing through the round. I would suggest doing maybe 1 or 2 rounds, take 5 or 10 minutes to work on this, just to remind yourself of what the words mean, because our quiz will be on Friday. So that is the vocabulary. So again, for Quill, it's 10 minutes, your journal, maybe 5 minutes, vocab, maybe 10 minutes. I'll add those times in there so you kind of have an idea of how to pace yourself. And then the last thing you're going to do today is finish reading The Most Dangerous Game and answering questions all the way through the end. So you should have questions A through R completed. These are due by Friday, so you need to make sure that you have finished reading the story and answering the questions before Friday. We will have a quiz over the story, and there is not really an excuse for not taking the quiz on Friday. So if you are not prepared for it, that's unfortunate, but that's just sort of the natural consequence. So you need to be ready to take the quiz on Friday. That will be the time that it is available for you. It will not be available after that unless you have some kind of an extenuating circumstance that you chat with me about. So again, make sure that you go through letter R and answer incomplete sentences. The audio link is here. The link to the text is up here if you need it, and I do have more extensive video directions here if you need those. If you have any questions, you are welcome to call into the Zoom question and answer sessions. For 6th hour, that is 10:15 to 10:35. And for 7th hour, I did have to change the time one more time. Hopefully this will be the last instance of having to change, but it will be 12:30 to 12:50. So those links are right here if you need them, or you can send me a message on Canvas or email me if you have any questions. So again, there will be a quiz over the story on Friday. Please make sure that you have finished reading. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and I will talk to you all on Friday.